In this video, we're going to take a look at how to beat the Act 2 boss, the Champ, using a almost fully upgraded Silent. You'll see from my starting hand that I have a lot of stuff going on here in my opening round. That is the deck that I'm building, basically calling this an Assassin deck, which is going to be a lot of low-cost attacks, a lot of zero attacks with the backstab, and I have them innate. It's obviously that's how this goes. And then I also have a lot of shivs coming in. Shivs here, shivs there, shivs everywhere. And then I have an 8 on terror as well, courtesy of my bottled lightning. Basically allows me to take any of these tougher fights and get a ton of damage right off the bat. It clears a lot of trash mobs very, very early. Allows me to get through some of those tougher fights without taking a ton of damage. Going over my relics. I have the starting one, obviously. I get extra max health when I get cursed. I use Dolly's Mirror. I use this right off the bat on the backstab. I ended up getting 2 of those cards. It's the first time I lose health, I get cards. Start with extra strength, start with extra energy, extra gold. This one here is key for the Assassin deck. 0 cost, deal 4 additional damage. That's where I'm getting my powerhouse damage from. Start with backstab, start with terror. Play 3 or less. Barely ever happens, so it doesn't really proc. This one here is just for climbing the Spire, and then extra potions, which I've spent a few at this point. So, deck-wise, you saw what basically most of it is. It is it's a dagger, and the dagger and backstab. It's like I said, it's an assassin deck, is what I'm calling it. So a lot of cheap stuff, not really any defense. So there are some defensive cards out there, but this is a killing deck. It's not a defensive deck. So what I'm going to show you with this video here is the Champ can be very, very tough. He's a long fight. He's got a lot of health. If you can't put out a lot of damage, you better be able to put out some defense. So he spends most of his fight buffing himself up so that he can do a couple of big attacks, and that's about it. So what I'm going to focus on here is ultimately proper card playing, and make sure that you're maximizing your efficiency on your deck. And we want to make sure that anything that we can play that has card draw, or make sure the order of stuff with like terror, make sure we're playing everything as efficiently as possible. So the only thing that really matters on this opening salvo here is to get terror out there first. Everything else is so cheap that I can afford it. So I'm just going to pile on the damage. Alright, so fantastic first turn. Took him down 118 on the first turn. Can't really say that about too many decks besides this one. So that first turn is sort of a freebie. I'm going to get a second turn, and then he's going to start attacking. Playing defensively, probably not that critical in my opinion. I would say with this deck, you want to keep on piling it on. So in terms of how to play these things, if you have card draw, always do the card draw before you play any other energy cost. So definitely do that. That's a big thing with this deck because of this here. There are cards in here that you want to discard. You want to throw out curse cards and things like that. But I'll always play my 0 cost for the most part. I don't have a lot of skills in there that would make those 0 cost attacks go out of order, so those don't really bother me. And then when it comes down to what else to play, because this has card draw, I'm going to play that one. Okay, so I got Distraction, adds a random skill for 0 cost. I only have one other attack, and to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. This damage here isn't really going to hurt me. So yeah, so here's a discard one. I don't think I have this in my deck, but this was a random one that came up. Plays in line with this one here. So if I go a block and discard this, it gives me Finisher. So that actually works well. We can use our energy potion. So let's hit him with the dagger, and then we'll throw the Finisher on him. Take 2 damage. That's okay for this fight. You don't want to take 50 damage. 2 damage is okay. 50 damage, not so much. Alright, so he's got half of his health gone. That's good for us. The hardest part about this fight is the fact that you get debuffed a lot. Not really much you can do about that unless you somehow magically have a whole bunch of artifacts. Not much you can do to combat that. So with this turn here, I have a lot of generics. Let's play Shiv. Let's play Blade Dance for extra Shivs. And then we have a decision to make. 3 damage, or 3 poison. 3 times is going to be 9 poison. Versus 14 damage plus another 7, 21 damage. This here is actually 9 poison, then 8, then 7, then 6. Poison damage, you can't really underestimate it. Either that, I mean, blocking, 6 block out of 27, kind of pointless to do so. I say we just call this turn what it is. It's a loss. Put the damage on him. Poison, I think, is a good thing to put on him. He does tend to buff himself where he's going to purge his debuffs. That kind of sucks when you lose your terror on there. So hopefully you can take him down far enough before that actually happens. Alright, Burst. Next skill is played twice. I don't have really any skills except for a block. In this case here, because he's still vulnerable, I'm going to keep putting the hurt on him. And whoop-de-doo, 3 block versus 6 block it's irrelevant. So he's almost dead. We're sitting pretty good. There's his buff. Notice he took the debuffs off. So now I have to do 98 damage outright. He's going to hit me for 36. We definitely don't want to do a full 36. That's not going to be good for us. So card draw. We don't have any card draw, but we have 0 costs. Blade Dance, play our Shivs. He's going down quick anyways. So do we want to apply weak or do we want to apply poison? So applying the additional poison, that would give him 7 poison, if that means anything to you. I think putting a weak, that's 25% less damage. Just because we don't know where this fight's going to end. That's a little bit safer one. That's 26 instead of 36. And then we'll just put the bigger of the 2 of this on him. We should be at a spot where he can't beat us unless we get a really terrible draw. We should be in a good spot. 28 damage, I could do that pretty easily. So I got 19, and he doesn't have an attack turn, so this should be a win. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about, getting all defenses. So, not really what I was looking for. I rarely get a draw like that. That was a brutal draw. I mean, he doesn't have enough health. I should be able to outlast him and do 16 on the next turn. I mean, if you look at my cards, I have a lot of damage cards. And here they are. So he's toast. So you can see his mechanics are not that hard. It's just a long fight. You don't want to let him get buffed up again where he keeps bringing up his health. That's usually spells doom for you. I mean, you can get quite a ways with a nice balanced deck, but you need to be able to put out some damage for sure. So defense isn't terribly critical, but if you don't have a lot of defenses, it needs to be timed out well. Alright, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those below. Otherwise, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.